So, here's a question. When's the last time you actually looked at your bank account? Like, really looked at it? Not the panic check you did at the ATM when your card got declined. Not the anxious scroll through your banking app at 2 a.m. when you couldn't sleep. I'm talking about a deliberate, calm, intentional look at exactly where you stand financially. If you're like most people, you have a weird relationship with looking at your money. You either check it obsessively when you're stressed or you avoid it completely because you're afraid of what you'll see. And both of those behaviors are keeping you broke. Because here's what nobody tells you about money management. Your financial outcomes aren't primarily determined by your income, your budget, or even your spending habits. They're determined by your awareness. And most people are walking through their financial lives essentially blindfolded, making decision after decision with zero real-time feedback about where they actually stand. And then they wonder why they're not making progress. Today, I'm going to teach you a habit that takes 60 seconds, costs nothing, requires no spreadsheets or apps, and will fundamentally rewire how your brain processes money. I am Bobby and I spent the last 6 weeks diving into behavioral psychology research, neuroscience papers on habit formation, and some pretty fascinating studies on how financial awareness changes decision-making at a subconscious level. If you're someone who feels like you're trying to manage your money but never quite getting traction, who sets budgets that don't stick, who has good intentions but bad outcomes, this is for you. There's this concept in behavioral psychology called feedback loops. It's basically the idea that any system you want to optimize requires real-time information about the current state of that system. Think about driving a car. You're constantly getting feedback. You see your speed on the speedometer. You feel the road through the steering wheel. You hear the engine. All of this information is feeding into your brain continuously, allowing you to make micro-adjustments without even thinking about it. Now imagine trying to drive with your eyes closed. You'd crash immediately. But that's exactly how most people manage their money. They're driving blind. A 2022 study found that 63% of Americans have no idea what their checking account balance is at any given time within $500. People genuinely don't know if they have $8,000 or $12,000 in their retirement account. They're making financial decisions with absolutely no awareness of their actual financial position. And then when they don't make progress toward their goals, they blame themselves for lacking discipline or willpower. But that's not the problem. The problem is they're trying to optimize a system they're not even measuring. Say you have a goal to save $10,000 this year. January 1st, they check their savings account. It's $2,400. They feel good. They don't check again until tax refund time in March. They log in and see $2,600. They're happy. They don't check again until June when they're thinking about a vacation. It's $2,900. Okay, $500 in 6 months. They're a little behind. December rolls around and they check one last time, $3,400. They saved $1,000 in a year when their goal was $10,000. What happened? They weren't aware. They made thousands of micro-decisions throughout that year. Coffees, dinners, impulse purchases, subscriptions they forgot about, each decision made without any real-time awareness of how it was affecting the goal. The Morning Money Minute. Every single morning within the first hour of waking up, you're going to open your financial accounts and write down 3 numbers. That's it. Write down your checking account balance, your total debt balance, and your investment account balance. You're not going to analyze them. You're not going to judge yourself. Just observe the numbers and write them down. The whole thing takes less than 60 seconds. Open app, look at number, write it down. 3 times. Close everything. Move on with your day. That's the entire habit. There's a principle in neuroscience called, what you measure gets optimized. It's related to the Hawthorne effect, discovered in the 1920s during productivity studies. Just observing something changes its behavior. When you start weighing yourself daily, you lose weight even if you don't change your diet consciously. When you start tracking your steps, you walk more. The brain doesn't like being observed doing things that contradict your goals. Most people's financial decisions are made subconsciously. You're not running a cost-benefit analysis every time you add something to your Amazon cart. These are mental shortcuts, heuristics, your brain uses automatically. But when you check your accounts every single morning, something changes. Your brain now has current state data. And throughout the day, when you're making those micro decisions, your subconscious is running them against this morning's numbers. You saw that you had $4,247 in checking this morning. Now it's 7 p.m. and you're thinking about ordering a $45 dinner. Your subconscious knows that means $4,202 tomorrow. Your brain automatically starts optimizing for the metric you're measuring. Not because you're thinking about it consciously, but because you've created a feedback loop. There's a part of your brain called the anterior cingulate cortex. One of its jobs is monitoring for conflicts between your goals and your current behavior. When there's a mismatch, it creates cognitive dissonance. That uncomfortable feeling when you're about to spend frivolously while having a savings goal, the ACC creates that. But it can only create the dissonance if it has information about your current state. If you never check your accounts, your ACC literally doesn't have the data to create that uncomfortable feeling. So you spend without discomfort. You drift without awareness. In a 2019 Duke University study, researchers split debt reduction participants into 3 groups. Group 1 got a standard plan. Group 2 got weekly reminders to check their debt balance. Group 3 checked every morning. After 6 months, Group 1 reduced debt by $890. Group 2 by $1,340. Group 3, daily checkers, by $2,180. More than double Group 1. The only difference was frequency of awareness. Traditional budgeting is prescriptive. It tells you what you're allowed to spend. It requires willpower and constant decision-making. And research shows willpower is a limited resource that depletes through the day. This is why most budgets fail within 6 weeks. People run out of willpower. But the Morning Money Minute isn't prescriptive. It's observational. It doesn't tell you what to do, it just creates awareness. Imagine instead you just weighed yourself every morning without following any specific plan. Studies show daily weigh-ins lead to weight loss even without dietary restrictions. Awareness changes behavior subconsciously. You're at a restaurant. You're looking at the menu. Somewhere in the back of your mind is this morning's number. You saw 186 pounds. The triple bacon burger probably won't help. You order the salad. That's what the Morning Money Minute does for your finances. Not following a budget. Not restricting yourself. Just observing. And the observation changes everything. Checking balance represents short-term safety and liquidity. Total debt represents your obligations and constraints. Investments represent long-term security and growth. Your brain needs all 3 to make good decisions. Let's say your morning numbers are checking $3,840, debt $18,600, investments $12,400. Those are real numbers in your brain. Tomorrow morning, checking is $3,795. Debt unchanged. Investments unchanged. Your checking went down by $45. Your brain notices. It's not judging you, but it's aware. If checking keeps dropping while debt stays flat, your subconscious starts getting uncomfortable. Then a week later, checking $3,680, debt $18,100, investments $12,520. Debt went down $500. Investments up $120. Your brain registers this as progress. Positive feedback begins. Say you make $65,000 per year. Without the Morning Money Minute, your net savings rate is maybe 3%, about $1,920 per year. With daily awareness, research shows savings rates increase by 4 to 7 percentage points. Let's be conservative, say 5 percentage points improvement. Your savings go from $1,920 to $5,200 per year. Compound that over 20 years at 7% return. You end up with $225,000 versus $85,000. That's a $140,000 difference from a 60-second daily habit. We're not talking about dramatic lifestyle changes. We're talking about making slightly better micro-decisions every single day because you have awareness. Financial avoidance is real. People are significantly less likely to check investment accounts after market downturns because they don't want to see losses. They'd rather not know. But avoiding it doesn't change the reality. Your checking account is what it is whether you look at it or not. The only thing avoidance accomplishes is it removes your ability to do anything about it. The research shows the pain of looking decreases dramatically once it becomes routine. After about 2 weeks, it becomes neutral. It's just data. You're not emotionally attached to it anymore. That emotional neutrality is one of the most valuable parts of this habit. It desensitizes you to money anxiety while simultaneously making you more aware and responsive to your actual financial situation. If you don't have investments to track, that's even more reason to start this habit. The awareness will naturally push you toward opening an account. Work with what you have. Anchor it to an existing habit. This is called habit stacking. Pick something you already do every morning without fail. Making coffee, checking your phone, and your new habit attaches to that sequence. Have all your financial apps downloaded. Have passwords saved. You should be able to open each app with a single tap. The balance visible immediately. Make it so easy that doing it requires less effort than not doing it. Get a notebook or open a note on your phone and actually write down the 3 numbers every morning. Writing creates a record. It forces you to register the numbers. And it creates a streak you won't want to break. Set a reminder for the first 30 days. Put a daily alarm on your phone. After about 30 days, it'll be automatic and you won't need it. Don't rely on willpower to remember. The first week is going to feel a little awkward. You're establishing a new routine. You might forget some days. That's fine. Don't let missing one day become an excuse to quit. The second week is when you'll start to notice patterns. Your checking always dips on Fridays. Your investments don't move much day to day, but you can see the weekly trend. Your brain is starting to process the data. Week 3 is when behavior changes begin. You'll make a decision about a purchase and notice yourself factoring in this morning's numbers. A slight hesitation. A reconsideration. A different choice. Week 4 is when it becomes automatic. You don't think about doing it. It's just part of your morning, like brushing your teeth. By this point, you're starting to see measurable changes in the numbers themselves. After 3 months, the changes are undeniable. People who consistently do the morning money minute for 90 days report an average 15% improvement in their financial position across all 3 metrics. After 6 months, the habit is so ingrained that not doing it would feel weird. You've established a feedback loop that will continue optimizing your finances as long as you maintain it. And here's the beautiful part. It never gets harder. It's 60 seconds a day forever. The effort required never increases. But the results compound indefinitely. The morning money minute isn't just a hack to save more money. It's about fundamentally changing your relationship with money from avoidance to engagement. Most people treat finances like a scary basement. They know there's stuff down there they should deal with. But it's dark and uncomfortable. They live their financial lives upstairs, making decisions without full information, hoping everything works out. The morning money minute forces you to go into the basement every day. And you know what happens? The basement stops being scary. You realize it's just a basement. It's got some stuff in it. But it's not a monster. When you're checking your numbers daily, an unexpected expense doesn't catch you off guard. You know exactly where you stand. You can make an informed decision. You're not panicking and scrambling. Compare that to the person who hasn't checked their account in 2 weeks. That unexpected expense is terrifying because they don't know if they can cover it. They're flying blind and every expense feels like a disaster. So here's what I want you to do. Commit to 30 days of the Morning Money Minute. If after 30 days you genuinely don't see any benefit, you can stop. You'll have lost nothing but 30 minutes total. Right now, before you go to bed, download or open your banking app, your debt tracking app, and your investment app. Set up your login so it's saved and easy. Then set an alarm on your phone for tomorrow morning. Pick a time that makes sense for your routine. Label it Money Minute. Tomorrow morning when that alarm goes off, you're going to spend 60 seconds checking your 3 numbers. Day 1 you're going to feel a little weird doing it. Do it anyway. Day 2, same thing. Day 3, same thing. By day 7, it's going to start feeling normal. By day 30, it's going to be automatic. And by day 90, you're going to wonder how you ever managed your money without this level of awareness. Your financial future isn't determined by dramatic events or windfalls or lottery tickets. It's determined by the 1,000 tiny decisions you make every single day. What you eat, what you buy, what you prioritize. Right now, you're making those decisions without full information. You're guessing. You're hoping. You're rationalizing. The Morning Money Minute gives you information. And information changes everything. It changes what your subconscious optimizes for. It changes what choices feel right. It changes what behaviors become automatic. All from 60 seconds of awareness every morning. So start tomorrow. Track your 3 numbers. Write them down. Do it again the next day and the next. 30 days from now, come back and watch this video again.